Guys, I thought Shams got hacked. Not gonna lie to you. Um, we're live. We're just doing this immediately after David Benavidez beats David Morrell, Luka Doncic, and Anthony Davis apparently get traded for one another. And we were about to do the live show over at the mandatory Bryan and Chantel YouTube account. And this trade breaks, and I'm like, this can't be real. Shams got hacked, and a bunch of us are saying the same thing. And please, if you're watching this, drop comments because I'm dolo. I wasn't going to bother any of my homies at 2 a.m. and be like, yo, could you come on with me? Whatever. Only want to do this for like 15, 20 minutes. We'll see if that actually gets accomplished. But as you can see right here on the ticker below, Luka Doncic has been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis, among others. And we have the full details here. We already have a couple comments from Salute to Donut Dan. Anybody else watching this, please do drop some comments because I'll be putting them on the board because, as I mentioned, I'm dolo here. But this trade just broke recently. We're still trying to gather our thoughts. There's more reporting coming out, more intel coming out. There's a money piece to this. It's very important as well. But we're going to talk about, is this an Alex 15, 20 minutes? We'll see, Welsh. We'll see. But that's funny. That's an inside joke for people who follow Five on the Floor podcast, the 5 Reasons team over there. By the way, we'll be doing a podcast featuring Ethan Skolnick and I. That's going to be starting up soon. That's going to be on the 5 Reasons NBA feed. And we'll probably throw some clips of this over here as well. But to reiterate, the full trade, and we'll get to some comments and we'll react to this like one big happy family. Shams Charania, ESPN insider, formerly of The Athletic, he tweeted that this trade was happening and had to confirm in a follow-up tweet, yes, this is real, is how he prefaced this, which led me to believe, I'm like, did he get hacked? Like, for real? Did he actually get hacked? And we have here, yes, this is real. Sources tell ESPN, here's the full trade. Here's the full trade, as I outlined a little bit here. Just covering my chin a little bit. I should have did a better job of that, but I could edit it on the fly. It's all good. We have the Lakers getting Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris. Okay? We have the Mavericks getting Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 Lakers first-round draft pick. We have the Utah Jazz, who, of course, Danny Ainge is going to sneak up in here, getting Jalen Hood-Schifino, a Clippers 2025 second, and a Mavericks 2025 second. Those picks probably won't be all that awesome. But Jalen Hood-Schifino is an interesting young player to sort of poach from this deal. Now, there's a lot to be said for this. I'm going to check in with a couple of my people in Dallas, see if one of them could potentially react with me on this. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. I do work tomorrow, but we'll try to get something going. Comments, we have a bunch here, but yeah, let's talk about this. Donut Dan, this trade looks like the Lakers are just starting over and the Mavs are going for it. Mentioned this on 5 Reasons. LeBron to the Warriors, Jimmy to the Mavs. Yeah, let's just shake all this up, Donut Dan. I like it. Let's get crazy. If super chats work, let me know because this channel is eligible for that. To get super chats, feel free to donate if you could. Listen, the economy's rough, so if you could, but if not, it's fine. Donut Dan, what's up? Also, Diego Torres, my guy, LeBron to Golden State. I think LeBron's going to want to play with Luka. Let's throw up some more before we get into some of the mechanics of this. Diego says, with the Jimmy package, ? So LeBron to Golden State with the Jimmy package. No, that'd be shocking. But like now, I mean, can you outdo this? Can you outdo this? Luka Doncic is like going into this trade seemingly is as untouchable could be, except for the fact that you have a contract situation sort of looming there. We're going to pull up some of the financials because that's ultimately why I think this got done. Dallas trying to get out ahead of something, puzzling that they would go in this direction specifically because you could imagine the draft haul that you could get for Luka Doncic from other teams, but Dallas clearly still wants to stay competitive. Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis is actually interesting, but Diego says, could Jimmy be a Mavs fit? I mean, I would have said so with Luka Doncic. Now, I mean, Kyrie, Jimmy, Anthony Davis. I don't even know what that looks like. Like, also salary wise, that's like pretty hard to execute. We'll have to pull up some contracts here, but let's do that right now because we're gonna have to anyway. So the Mavericks, Luka Doncic making 43 million this year. This is important. 46 million next year, has an opt out. And when people talk about free agency being, Mikey will get to Jimmy Butler, where does he go? Uh, when we're talking about free agency in 2026 being a thing, quote unquote, which it may or may not be, there are some teams seemingly clearing the decks for that. This is one of the guys you were building that idea around, is Luka Doncic, because Luka Doncic has an opt out. He's going to make in 2025, 2026, again, 46 million. The year after is an option for about 49 million. Likely going to opt out of that because he'll still be in his prime years. And he can get, I mean, we all know what Luka Doncic can get in terms of the bag. Like, he's going to get whatever the max is at that point. So he's going to opt out. And it didn't feel like Dallas, as more reporting has come out, and Tim McMahon actually said this. I'm going to pull that up right now. Excuse me if I'm like a little clunky here, but one man show type things. But Tim McMahon actually did say this as it pertains to the looming contract situation. And the quote was, the Mavs, this is a rough quote, but this is essentially what he said. The Mavs had concerns moving forward with Doncic due to conditioning issues, which I found interesting, and also looming commitment of a supermax extension. So you don't want to go into that potential lame duck situation. Let's see what we have here. Donut Dan, the Lakers have no defense now. They got a lot of offense, though. It's crazy to me that Austin Reeves, like, you couldn't get Austin Reeves too if you're Dallas, who's like a super, super, super poor man's version of Luka, I guess. Like the poorest of poor man versions, but you get what I'm saying. Like, he can do some things on the ball. He can get creative with the ball. He can shoot. He's been actually really good at times this season as well. Gail chimes in, no defense at all, and LeBron's lazy, dumbass trade. Diego asked a question here. This is interesting. I want to read off Anthony Davis's contract too in a sec. I should do that. You think LeBron and Luka are a good fit? Both need the ball, and traffic cones would need to trade Reeves and stuff for a center. I already got Knicks fans in my life saying trade Reeves for Mitchell Robinson, but if I'm the Lakers, I'm not doing that. You want to try to get somebody who's healthier. It's just crazy to me. But here's the thing, though. Like, if you have a shot, guys, to get Luka Doncic, you're going to get Luka Doncic. You can figure out the pieces later. It's like, this also blends, okay, LeBron is, we don't know when, theoretically on his way out. Luka Doncic is like the future of the Lakers, the present and the future of the Lakers here. I do wonder if it's going to be with Austin Reeves. I have questions about that, but Austin Reeves is on such a good contract. So I wonder if you start to maneuver in that way. I want to know what LeBron's role in this was. It doesn't seem like he made this happen, as people would think, but we don't definitively know that. But that's an interesting thing. Donut Dan points out AD waiving his trade kicker is big. That is a underrated part of this too. Chris Haynes did tweet that out. For me, I thought it was BS until I saw Chris Haynes also confirm this, and I was like, all right, you have like Shams and Chris Haynes. You have like the tippy top of NBA insiders is basically confirming this. Let's get to AD's contract situation real quick. So he's making 43 million this year. He has an extension that kicks in for 54 million next year, 58 million in 2026, 2027, and $62 million player option for the year after in 27, 28. He'll be 34 years old then. And there was a trade kicker, as mentioned earlier. So that will be waived. Gail, I'll take Kyrie. I don't care. Swap out. You're saying Jimmy for Kyrie, Gail? Is that what you're saying? I don't think Dallas would do that. But they did this. You know what I mean? They did this. So I don't know. Anthony, In-N-Out stocks are up. In-N-Out's good. I've had it before. D Millard. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We're doing this at 2 a.m. East Coast time. So thank y'all so much for joining. And keep them coming. We'll go for a little bit longer. LeBron has to be on the move too. Way too many overlapping skill sets with LeBron and Luka. I mean, I don't think it's about, this is gonna sound weird, but I don't think it's about like a basketball fit next to LeBron James. I think it's about getting Luka Doncic and just figuring it out later. Like, sure, it's gonna be two guys who want to do similar things, and it's gonna be weird. And also, by the way, Austin Reeves handles the ball a lot with the Lakers, especially in these games that Anthony Davis has been out. But I think it's more so about, all right, you get one of the most talented guys in the world, in the league and in the world, and you just figure it out later. Like that's all it comes down to. For Anthony Davis, this is a heist to me. Like this is a layup for the Lakers. Like, yeah, you just figure it out later. Anthony, you're out of the Anthony Davis business. That extension was going to kick your ass anyway. And on top of that, you could sign Luka. Like, I'd much rather be paying Luka Doncic moving forward than Anthony Davis. And then you look at the other like sort of ancillary parts. Like you do get Maxi Kleber back. You had Dorian Finney-Smith in a trade earlier. You got Markieff Morris. I don't expect him to play much, but you have guys that are gonna like see some rotation minutes in. I guess Dorian Finney-Smith in particular and Maxi Kleber. I don't know what that's going to look like. I imagine, like, yeah, should they be shopping for a center? Yes. Are they a Jonas Valanciunas team? Probably. Are they still going to have no defense because Jonas Valanciunas in the pick and roll is going to get fried by guards in the Western Conference? Yeah, probably. That's probably going to happen. But why not double down with Luka Doncic and LeBron James? And potentially Austin Reeves. This is going to get interesting too. Ryan Johnston, AD, Derek Lively, and Daniel Gafford are the Mavs' answer for Jokic and Wembanyama. Derek Lively's out for a while, which is, I think, another reason this is interesting. Daniel Gafford seemingly is going to continue to play center. He is actually questionable to play tomorrow. Daniel Gafford's he's been playing really well lately. I don't know if people have been paying attention since Derek Lively's gone out. I forget the numbers, but I just ran them the other day. It was like 16 and 11 or something outrageous like that. I'm slightly off, but it was averaging a double-double. We got another double-double against the Pistons. Like, he's been really good. Bruce, welcome, Bruce. When LeBron is traded or retires and they open up cap, what stars joining Luka are forcing his way there? It's the Lakers. They're going to be in the market for damn near anybody they could afford to. The question is, when is LeBron going to retire? Is he going to be gone by that magical 2026 year of free agency? It doesn't seem like they're going to get De'Aaron Fox, but De'Aaron Fox, until he signs an extension, is one of those names we're going to be talking about. Trae Young also is a name that is interesting and around in that 2026. I almost said weight class because I'm still kind of in boxing mode from the other show, but like that's kind of what you're looking at here. So let's look at some NBA free agents as I pull this up. We'll get another comment also. LeBron tweeted. Donut Dan, what did he tweet? I haven't seen LeBron's tweet. 21 Alex, you're telling me LeBron ain't no AD clutch also. No, LeBron knew, but I'm saying, like, did he make the call? I want to know that. We're still going to get behind the scenes info. By the time this goes up, Shams will have already, and Chris Haynes and Tim McMahon, guys who are going to be on this, Dave McMenamin also, like, they're going to be reporting things that we're going to be finding out about. And this is probably not going to be the only time I talk about this up here. For people who can read the bottom, youtube.com/Bryan Fonseca. That is the channel. We're here. If you're watching this on Twitter, that is. And if you're watching this wherever, thank you, because you could be doing anything and you're here. So I greatly appreciate that because, who am I, right? Donut Dan, Lakers stole Luka. Kind of agree with this. The FN man. I know what FN probably stands for. They could extend Jimmy and pay AD with Luka's $345 million supermax. Such an outrageous number to say out loud. We're going to get to the point of $500 million players in this sport. Like, in baseball, that's going to become normalized in the thing. Dean, this is interesting. Clay, PJ, and Gafford for Jimmy. I don't think you're getting all that for Jimmy Butler. But if you're Miami, you take that and run. Even though, like, Gafford, Ware, Bam, clunky, but just figure it out later. PJ also, that's clunky. You're going to be super big. You're going to be too big, but you can figure that out later. Some free agents for 2026, because I promised this. And we'll keep posting comments. So let's keep talking about this. Keep dropping comments. I'll just keep throwing them up, and we'll go for another 10, 15 minutes until we kind of run out of steam here and try to go to sleep. I don't know if I'll be able to go to sleep till like 4 a.m. if that. De'Aaron Fox, as I mentioned, is scheduled to be a unrestricted free agent 2026. The expectation, though, is like If he gets moved to a San Antonio, which has been obviously the big pervasive rumor, then yes, you would think he's going to sign an extension there, right? So let's see how that situation goes. I'm not expecting him to make it if he gets traded. I'm not expecting that. You have Kobe White. That's interesting, actually. He's not like a super big name, but he'll get a nice contract. Let's try to focus on some of the bigger names here. CJ McCollum's not a big name, but he'll be 35 and he'll be helpful off of presumably somebody's bench at that point. This is just unrestricted, guys. We'll get some more like restricteds and potential free agents, opt outs, and things of that nature. Mikal Bridges is on this list. You would think that Mikal Bridges will have his extension by then. Willie Goodman, shout out to you, W, for going live after another live after we just had one on the boxing channel. More free agents. Kevin Durant, 2026. I mean, it's Kevin Durant. At the same time, like, it's Kevin Durant in year that'll be going into the 2026-27 season. That'll be the 20th year of Kevin Durant. It's Kevin Durant, but for how much longer is it Kevin Durant? More free agents from that year. Rui Hachimura, who's currently on this roster for now. Jaren Jackson Jr., who's probably going to get extended this year. Let's make this list more interesting. Kristaps Porzingis. Kristaps Porzingis is on this list. Could imagine he'll have some teams interested in his services. DeAndre Ayton, I have no idea what that market's going to look like. Daniel Gafford. Maybe Dallas extends him, or maybe they just totally pivot to Derek Lively at that point. We'll see what that looks like. Restricted free agents, we could probably kind of ignore for now because a lot of those guys will just be retained, extended, like Paolo Banchero. Don't know what's going to happen with Jalen Duren, Chet Holmgren. And then over here, you have the options, right? The player option guys. This is the Luka Doncic category. And presumably you would think now he's going to opt in with, or not opt in, he's going to just extend with the Lakers when the time comes. But Trae Young is one of these guys too, where he's on the books for the exact same player option that Luka Doncic would have. Trae Young, you would think, is going to opt out for a massive extension, a massive deal with whoever he's there with at that point. Trae Young would be interesting wherever. Damian Lillard will be 36 years old. We'll see where he's at, but clearly he's still really good right now offensively. Defensively has never been a strong suit. Zach LaVine, that's a name that's circulating right now in terms of trades. His contract is very, very big right now, but he's still only going to be in his early 30s. If he can remain healthy, he's going to get a nice payday. Andrew Wiggins, who's a trade target right now for some people. Draymond Green, who will be 36 by that point. And then you have some guys on team options who are sort of a lower tier. But Isaiah Hartenstein is one who could probably hit the market if his team option for a massive, massive number gets declined. So free agency that year, I mean, is it going to be as awesome as some people think? I don't know. A bunch of those guys could get extended, but there clearly are going to be some names. And remember, if you are a team that clears cap space, so to speak, you can trade into your cap space. But it also depends on some CBA things and all that kind of shit. Donut Dan asked about Anthony Edwards. Didn't see his name on this list. Let me check out Anthony Edwards. I could have sworn it may be a year after. No, longer than that, actually. So his extension runs through 2028, 2029. So Anthony Edwards is going to be a minute. It's going to be a while. This is according to Spotrac, obviously. 42 million this year, then 45.5, 49, 52.2, 56 in 2028, 2029. So that's that. All right, let's throw up some more comments here. I've been talking a lot. I need a sip of water. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Let's see what we have here. Diego, I'm coming to you next. Guys, keep them coming. And ask questions too, and just point out things, whatever the case may be. We're here to have a good time and just really react to this. This is so crazy. Diego, all right. You think Lively could be a trade chip, or are we sure Dallas just didn't trade Davis for the asset? I think they did. I'm not sure they went about this the correct way because the Anthony Davis thing is weird, but yeah, I think with Derek Lively, maybe the move is actually to trade Gafford. Not yet, but in the summer or next season. Like, I do wonder, they have to make a choice at some point, it feels like, or they can continue to run both out there. But as we just outlined, Daniel Gafford's going to be extension eligible. And do you move on that? Derek Lively is in his second season, so he's not going to be extension eligible until 2026. Let me just double check that, but I'm pretty sure he was a rookie last year in last year's draft. Yeah, so he's looking at an extension decision in 2026 after his third season, and then we'll see if they extend him, and even if they do, it's not going to kick in for another year after that. So it won't even kick in until 2027, 2028. Welsh, Miami better hire Dragic to the front office right now since Luka can't get a supermax. They should hire Goran Dragic, actually. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be really cool. Willie, yes, come with the betting. Mavs 40-1, Lakers 20-1. This was the opposite this morning. Really? Damn, that's a lot of movement. Let me know if that's an update. If there's an update, even from you posting this, if it's moved again live, because I would imagine people are placing bets. I don't think the Mavs or Lakers are going to win a championship this year. I do think the Lakers, I have to sort of reevaluate what I think about them, and the Mavericks too. I feel like I'm a bit higher on the Lakers than I was and a bit lower on the Mavericks than I was. I really liked the Mavericks when they were healthy. They just weren't really healthy this year. And they have a really good team. And I thought Jason Kidd's actually done a really good job. And now I don't know what to think. Although admittedly, Kyrie and Anthony Davis is interesting. There's just a lot of health questions with them and other guys on the roster. As we mentioned, Derek Lively's out. All right, 21 Alex. They said Luka was pushing 270 is crazy. I hope not. I really hope not. Luka is the conditioning report from Tim McMahon was interesting. He's talked about this before. If you listen to Tim McMahon on the Hoop Collective, for example, he's talked about just Luka's conditioning, it being kind of an issue in Dallas. There's been hints of this before, and there's even been hints, and it's coming out about just where they sort of stood with Luka Doncic and whether or not Luka Doncic is going to extend. And apparently, according to reports, not really committed or was non-committal, and they wanted to sort of get ahead of this. Shams, this is another tweet from a little bit after the report of the actual trade. This is a quote. I'm going to just quote it directly. The Mavericks approached the Lakers recently and offered Luka Doncic. Sources told ESPN. Interesting that they would just offer him to the Lakers. Lakers brass met and believe the 25-year-old Doncic has the ability to be the face of their franchise, no duh, for the next decade, while Anthony Davis is a win-now move in Dallas. I would agree with all those things. Shams went on ESPN and talked about this. This deal materialized in the shadows. LeBron James had no idea this was coming. That's what Shams said. Y'all are going to disagree in the comments. But he said LeBron had no idea this was coming. I don't know. I don't know about that. But I don't think it. I'll say this. If I had to guess, maybe he was told late. Was it his call, though? I don't know about that. Anthony Davis had no idea this trade was coming, Shams added. I'm told Luka Doncic is still stunned about this trade. Luka Doncic in LA. Whew. And then he posted the photos. Luka Doncic photoshopped with the Lakers uni and Anthony Davis with the Dallas Mavericks uniform. I'm going to be annoyed, guys, because I'm planning multiple trade deadline streams on this channel. One on Wednesday night. I'm just letting y'all know right now. This is the plan for this week. I was going to do something tomorrow that's totally scrapped now because of this. Tuesday, planning something on WNBA free agency that's going to be early during the day. That'll be with the homie Maria Marino of ESPN, formerly of Action Network, formerly of SNY as well. Wednesday night, trade deadline show. Wednesday night live, trade deadline show. It'll be during that 10:30 time. It'll be late because we don't want to interfere with a pretty good 7:30 slate. Some of y'all are Heat fans in the chat. The Heat play at 7:30, so it won't be during the game. It'll be a little bit after. That'll be pre-trade deadline thing, and we're just gonna have some fucking fun. That's what we're gonna do. I'm actually trying to get Greg Sylvander. He has committed to join, so hopefully the timing works out. But Greg Sylvander should be there. Got my boy Gerard Hector looking to get somebody else for that too. So we'll see if I can wrangle in one of the other homies. And then Thursday night, trade deadline reaction might be with Ethan Skolnick. We'll see. But he did say he can do that. Just it's a trade deadline. But that night we will react to the trade deadline because during the trade deadline, I'll be on the New York Post YouTube channel doing New York Got Game, doing the Knicks Nets live show with my guy Dexter Henry because the Knicks and Nets are two teams we expect to be active on the trade deadline, and also that's one of my jobs. So that's the sort of schedule. So we'll be on this channel Tuesday early, Wednesday night, Thursday night. Trade deadline stuff will be Wednesday night, Thursday night. There will be plenty of Jimmy Butler talk if he's still on the market or if he just got traded by then. So don't you worry. We'll have plenty of Jimmy Butler, and we'll talk about some of the other things going on in the league, and we'll probably talk about this again. So we got live streams like crazy this week, and then next week, I don't know if we're going to have as many, although there may be something on the buyout market. As you can tell, I'm really trying to push the YouTube channel here after reviving it sometime last year, and y'all are helping me move with it, so that's been great. We're making a lot of progress, so I'm happy about that. Okay, a couple more minutes. Let's get in some last minute questions before we get up out of here. But overall, my thoughts on this trade: the Lakers are better. The Mavericks could still be good. It's just a health question with me, and I think if you're the Lakers, you gotta do something else. Like, I still need to see if they're like, are they going to get Jonas Valanciunas? Is Gabe Vincent's contract going to be used as a trade chip? What's going to happen to Rui Hachimura? Is Austin Reeves going to stay and be third to LeBron and Luka Doncic? Like, I have questions about how that's going to run, but you get if you could get Luka Doncic, just get Luka Doncic. Just figure it out later. He's a generational talent. Like, he's awesome. And honestly, he's an MVP candidate for years already at this point, and has already led a team to the NBA Finals. Okay. Trying Donut Dan. I'm almost out of breath. I'm taking another sip of water. Drop a few more comments, then we'll get up out of here. 21 Alex. Let's go to you. Rob Pelinka, low-key trying to take some power back, question mark. Power dynamics in LA are interesting, that's for sure. I don't know everything about what's going on over there, but that's good. Donut Dan, all this trade dopamine about to hit hard. I love it. Like, all this shit about the CBA, might make this trade deadline suck. And I've been speculating about that. We've talked about this on the channel with Yossi Goslin. We did the cap thing with Matt Moore. We talked about predictions with Spencer Davies. We talked about trade deadline possibilities, obviously, with Sean Rochester, Ethan Skolnick. And we always come back to how active is the trade deadline going to actually be. And then we got this. Granted, it's not at the deadline, but it's the week of. You know what I mean? It's only a few days before, so we'll take it. It's within the week. So good. So good. Anything else, let me know. But yeah, that's where I'm at with this trade. It's ridiculous. It's super ridiculous. The NBA, like, who doesn't like the NBA, honestly? The NFL, you don't get trades like this that often. It's usually draft picks. The NFL, like, the trades will get popping usually like draft day. Trade deadline has gotten better in the NFL, actually. We've gotten some good ones. But this, like, Luka Doncic is a top 5 player. Anthony Davis, when he's healthy, is top, I don't know where. He's up there. Like, some people may put him in the top 10. He's high up. I don't know if I put him in the top 10, but I don't know if it matters. He's great. He's all NBA worthy. He's all NBA caliber. He's all-star caliber. And he probably is a top 10 player when he's healthy. I got to think about that a little bit more. If Anthony Davis is a top 10 player when he's healthy. Is he? I got to think about that. Luka's in the top 5, though, for sure. And it's rare that you see two guys at that level, two all-NBA guys traded for one another. So to recap, God, I'm going to lose my breath. It's 2:20 a.m. All right. To recap the trade, Luka Doncic is going to the Los Angeles Lakers, along with Maxi Kleber and Markieff Morris. The Dallas Mavericks are getting Anthony Davis, Max Christie, sneaky good player, and a future Lakers first-round pick in 2029 we expect Luka Doncic to still be on the team by then, judging by this. Max Christie, by the way, 8.5 points a game this year, shooting 37% from three. Play some defense, and he's been playing major minutes for the Lakers, 25 minutes a game. So I don't think they're going to need to worry about Max Christie in that way, but that's a sneaky good pickup for the Mavericks, who have a deep team. They have a deep team. I don't know how good, like, I thought the Mavericks could win the West. And now I'm thinking, like, all right, could Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving sort of lead this and do that? I would favor Oklahoma City, but I mean, Anthony Davis is really good. I feel like we kind of sleep on Anthony Davis sometimes. Um, so I got to think about that. And also, it depends on what else happens and if they can get healthy. They're going to have Lively. They're going to have Derek Lively. Daniel Gafford is really good too. Like Quentin Grimes. Like, this is a deep team. 21 Alex. I think Dallas regrets this down the line. Luka was supposed to be a lifer like Dirk. 100% agree. 21 Alex. 1,000% agree. 1,000,000% agree. Like, this is crazy. Like, I could we should probably end on this, but like, could Dallas have afforded to just wait? Like, I know you want to get a lot for him, but is this the best you can do? I just got done saying Anthony Davis is probably underrated now. Like, we're a little too hard on him sometimes. Um, and Anthony Davis is a top whatever player when he's healthy. He's really good. He's all NBA caliber, all-star caliber, obviously. But like, I mean, you probably could have done better, I feel like. I think for now, and this is where I think 21 Alex, I think for now, this is the best individual player they felt like they could have got. And they still want to keep a win now window open. They believe they're a win now team. And on paper, I mean, the age Kyrie Irving's at is in his early 30s. Anthony Davis as well is in his early 30s. And you have these pieces around them who are like, you just went to the finals. Granted, Luka was the reason, but Anthony Davis is also like, he's really good too. So they're still built like a win now team. And I think that was the goal here, is to try to not sell Luka off for picks and expiring contracts, even though you could have gotten a shit ton of picks. But you wanted an all NBA caliber player, and this is probably the best they could do. And the Lakers were in a situation where they felt like they had to shake something up, and they traded for a guy who's going to help them in the present and their future. Like, I think in the moment, you could almost be like, hey, this is a win-win. But in terms of how it ages, to your point, Alex, yeah, I don't know how this is going to age for Dallas. And if I'm a Mavs fan, if there are any Mavs fans who end up stumbling upon this, by the way, I think your team's underrated. But man, if I'm a Mavs fan, I'm pissed. With all due respect to Anthony Davis, because that's Luka Doncic, and he just got you to the finals, and now these are the vibes. Not even a year after making it. Willie, so do you think Luka and LeBron? I don't know why I reversed that. It's 2:24 a.m. That's why. So do you think Luka and LeBron make sense on the court? I think because LeBron's in his early 40s, it can, if that makes sense. Like, if he can just because LeBron and Austin Reeves have been able to find some rhythm. Luka Doncic is obviously much, much, much better than Austin Reeves, even though Austin Reeves is really good. But I think you can find a rhythm where the two of them make sense. And obviously, I think there'll be some staggering involved too. When Luka Doncic is healthy, he's not even healthy yet. The other thing is, though, now with Austin Reeves, like, you're not going to have Austin Reeves as a spot-up shooter. And the way he's been playing, like, what are you going to do? Have him as the sixth man? Like, he's overqualified to do that now. So that's where I have more questions. But like, if LeBron were to say, hey, I'm retiring after this season, then yeah, you keep Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and you figure out the rest later. I think Austin Reeves is good. And more to the point, he's on a great contract, so you don't want to rush to give that up. But man, I think they'll make it work. We talk about IQ. There are people who will tell you, like, LeBron's IQ is elite, but Luka Doncic also. It's not LeBron's, but it's up there in terms of elite NBA IQ. Like, I think these guys will figure it out. Somebody's got to shoot catch and shoot threes. I don't know if either of them will. It's going to be a problem. But I mean, God, in terms of sheer talent, like how could you not try it out if you're able to do it? 21 Alex Jokic and Gordon gonna have their hands full, especially with Cat and Gobert breaking up. Yeah, what's Denver gonna do? Man, going back to Jimmy Butler, who's trending now. Because it's like, what's gonna happen there? Um, man, if Jimmy Butler would just put Denver on his list, that'd be pretty cool, huh? I'd like to see Jokic and Jimmy Butler and Russell Westbrook. I don't know. I have no idea what that would do, but I think it'd be a lot of fun. In the playoffs, God, that would be scary. Nuggets Lakers with Jimmy Butler on the Nuggets, and then the Heat would get back. I guess a package highlight by Michael Porter Jr. Would you be able to get Julian Strawther or Peyton Watson? Probably not Peyton Watson is the question. I don't know, and I'm sure Denver would try to sell off Zeke Naji because his extension looks kind of dubious considering what he's given them right now. New commenter. Let's go to you, Nilo Soccer. Thank you for joining. Trading Luka to the Lakers is like the Celtics trading Tatum for Kawhi after the Celtics lost to the Warriors because they want defense. What was the fine? I'm trying to remember. What was Jason Tatum? Let me actually pull this up because this is an interesting comment and comparison. Jason Tatum, I want to look up what his contract was at that point. That was the 2022-2023 season that the Warriors won the NBA championship against the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum at the time was on the second year of a 5-year extension. The last year would have been next year, but they ended up extending him before that anyway. So they just got out ahead of it and reworked the deal. So yeah, if Jason Tatum, I mean, it would be a bang on example, of course, if Jason Tatum were, entering a similarly perilous, potentially perilous contract situation. But I get your point. It's a great point. Like, it's an interesting point for sure. Man, Donut Dan says they're definitely going to regret it if they don't win this year. I think there's a world where a Dallas, I don't know if the Lakers will. I don't know if the Lakers will regret this at all. They weren't going to win this year. They probably still aren't. And now you get like the Lakers in my entire life, and even before I was alive. So in my lifetime, when I was like a baby, you had Shaq and Kobe, right? You had Shaq and Kobe, and then Shaq leaves. You still have Kobe. That's your star. Kobe's there for, the entire duration. Like the Lakers always just get another star at that point. The post Kobe period got pretty dark. And then it was like they drafted Julius Randle, they drafted D'Angelo Russell when Kobe was on his way out, and all those different things. And then they end up getting LeBron a couple years after Kobe retires. So they always just get this next star to sort of bridge the next generation. There was a gap in the 90s between when Kobe and Shaq got there from when, Magic had to retire abruptly. But the Lakers always find a way. It's kind of like the Yankees, unfortunately. I'm not a Yankee fan. I have a New York hat. I'm not a Yankee fan. I'm a Met fan. So it pains me to acknowledge that the Yankees, tend to do that. But hey, the Mets are spending a lot of money now too. 5-year 205, Alex. Yeah. 20. I said 22, 23, right? Yeah, it was 21, 22. Amen. 2:30 a.m. 22, 23 was the Nuggets Heat year. 21, 22 is a championship that I thought the Heat, if they got there, would have beaten the Warriors. Because y'all talk about like, hey, the Heat would have beaten the Lakers in the bubble if they were healthy. That one, I'm not sure about. 21, 22, I think they would have beaten the Warriors. That was the title that they could have gotten. Willie says, as a Laker fan, I don't want to lose Reeves on this amazing contract. I agree with that. I think the smart move is to trade him now to build around Luka for the future. No reason to wait. Luka is ready to win now. Smart move to trade. Wait, so you don't want to lose Reeves? I want to make sure I'm reading this right. Because again, it's late. I don't want to lose Reeves on this amazing contract. Think the smart move is to trade him now to build around. Okay, so are you saying you want to get out ahead of the Austin Reeves situation and trade him now? Or by trade, are you saying LeBron? You want to trade LeBron? This reads as you would trade Reeves despite his amazing contract, which you can get a good amount for Austin Reeves if you wanted to trade him. That contract. I've been talking about Austin Reeves' contract. Let me tell y'all what it is. Let me tell y'all what it is. For somebody who right now is having a great LeBron. Okay, that's what I thought. Willie trade LeBron. Um, I kind of agree with that, even though they're not going to do it. But I got you. I know what you meant. Austin Reeves is making 12.9, essentially $13 million this year. 13. 13. He's not making that much more than Gabe Vincent this year. He's making just under 14 million next year, and then he has a player option for about 15 million. So he's on that actual 2026 free agent list because he's going to opt out of that player option for like 15 million. He's going to get a big raise. He's going to get a massive raise. Neil Osaka, another comment. 21 Alex says Game 7. That shot gave me a heart attack. Yeah, that was a really good Heat team. Who's a center or player you would want the Lakers to trade for? Vucevic or Walker Kessler? Okay, Lakers contracts. This ended up being an Alex Toledo style 15 or 20 to 25 minutes or whatever I said earlier. We've gone over. But I thank you guys. I mean, y'all decided to come in here and hang out on a Sunday morning, Saturday night, day before I work, 12 to 8, which is fun. One of my jobs. And we're over here talking about this trade. Like, life could be cool sometimes. So to answer this, let me pull up the Lakers contracts. Right now, my internet's being weird, although y'all still see me and hear me, so maybe not that weird. Okay, here we go. Because Nikola Vucevic, that one, man, you're just like quadrupling down on offense if that's the case. I wouldn't be in a rush to trade for Nikola Vucevic just in general. I'd probably take like a lower risk guy like Jonas Valanciunas, who I could then pivot and trade later because of his contract. But Vucevic's contract is not going to kill you. And a sip of water. Jesus Christ. This is why I usually have guests. Vucevic, 20 million this year, 21.5 with a little bit of rounding next year. Then it expires, so it's not terrible. Nikola Vucevic would that's a number the Lakers could get to. Rui Hachimura is making 17 million this year, then 18.2 million next year. But Rui Hachimura is a guy like you kind of need him now. He's not somebody I would be like dying to trade. He's not untradeable. Nobody is. Nobody. If Luka Doncic is tradable, then everybody's tradable. Maybe not Nikola Jokic, but that's it. Gabe Vincent's 11 million at 11.5 million. He's a piece, and then Jared Vanderbilt. So with Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt, who you would love to get off of, because he's making 10.7 at 11.5 and 12.4, and then a player option for 13.3. Not positive he'll decline that one. Depends on where he is at that point of his career. Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt gets you to that Vucevic number. And then it's just a matter of what picks do the Lakers have left. I have no idea what they're like. I need to look at the updated version of that. But yeah, Walker Kessler, though, I mean, financially, it's not much because he's still on his rookie scale contract. So there, it's just kind of like, again, do you have the draft capital to sort of make that happen? You parted with Max Christie, you parted with Jalen Hood-Schifino. You could obviously get to Walker Kessler's number. It's just a matter of pick compensation and what the Lakers have left to play with. Because in this particular trade, I mean, they gave up another first, which you got Luka Doncic. So, yeah. Donut Dan. Slovenian Heritage Night in Dallas is about to get real awkward. When is that, by the way? Because this is another thing that I'm going to talk about on the channel. FIBA at the end of February is going to have the last stage of qualifying for the AmeriCup, Eurobasket, Afrobasket, and Asia Cup. All of those tournaments are going to be this summer. So I want to do something on that because if people remember from last summer, and maybe you don't, but covered international basketball heavy, love international basketball, we are going to talk about that at the end of the month because that's when we're going to find out which countries make it to all the summer tournaments. And this summer is going to be Eurobasket, Afrobasket, Asia Cup, FIBA AmeriCup, and there's going to be men and women. So we're going to have 8 tournaments in the summer. It's going to be great. Hopefully it gets some coverage beyond this channel, but it will get coverage on this channel. 21 Alex says Reeves fumbled the bag. I could not believe that contract was a hype. Bill Simmons talked about this. That contract, awesome contract for the team, not for Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is due for a bigger deal. Sean Tan 14. Welcome. When is the last time we had this crazy of an NBA trade? This just came out of nowhere. He has. Yo, this is I was just telling my fiance about this. This is the like one of the craziest trades I could remember because of how shocking it was. It came out of nowhere straight up. Like I haven't been this shocked by a trade. I wanted to go live sooner, but we had to do a live like recap show, and we started it off. We were talking about Dave Benavidez, Dave Morrell, but we started off talking about Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis. All right, a couple more, then we'll get up out of here. Willie Goodman says this is the craziest NBA trade ever. 21 Alex, could the Lakers give Mitchell Robinson for scraps? I mean, you can get to the number. You can get to the number. Mitchell Robinson's at about 15, and he's also under contract next year. He's not healthy yet, but it looks like he's going to be cleared for contact pretty soon. He's ramping up, has been, and his contract is a good one. It's descending actually, 14.3 million, then 12.9 million next year, and then it expires. Mitchell Robinson's really good when he's healthy as just a rim protector, as a lob threat. Doesn't give you much offensively other than that. He can finish around the rim. His offensive rebounding is great. His rebounding in general could be really high level. It's just the injuries, just a constant injury risk. But man, he's good. And he might get traded. He might get traded. We'll see. But could the Lakers get him for scraps? I mean, I don't know about scraps. You're going to have to give up something. I don't think the Knicks would be too interested in Jared Vanderbilt. I don't think they want to bring on that long-term contract. And I'm not sure what they do with Gabe Vincent, although the Knicks, I can tell you, like they're sniffing around for a center of their own, just in case they can't wait on Mitchell Robinson. And Jonas Valanciunas is a name that's come up on a lesser tier. Javonte Green, who's not a center but is a multi-positional wing. Like they're looking for depth also. It appears, at least per our conversation with Ian Begley on New York Got Game on the New York Post YouTube channel Thursday night. So, yeah, Gabe Vincent, I don't know if the Knicks would be interested, but he gets you close to that Mitchell Robinson number. Maybe it's a 3-team deal. We got to remember, a lot of trades are going to be multi-team trades like this one because of the mechanics you have to work around in the CBA. There's just going to force teams to do a lot of multi-team trades. Multi-team trades. They're stupid. Multi is 2. Beyond 2 teams. Willie, Lakers have a 2027 first, and that's the only thing of value. Okay, good to know that they still have that in their back pocket. That's right. Man, that might be important. I don't know if I'd be running to trade that first yet. But to your point, Willie, trading LeBron? Oh, man. Although I want to see LeBron and Luka first, just as a basketball consumer. And as somebody who's covered the NBA for a while, I want to see LeBron and Luka, just see what it looks like. That's crazy. I'm trying to think of another example where we've had LeBron's had some awesome teammates, but like a top 5 in his prime guy. Kyrie was great at one point. I don't know if he was ever top 5. There was conversation about him being the best point guard in the NBA at one point. Sean, honestly, it's also tough to decide on Vincent after this trade happened because he's been playing much better as of late compared to the start of the season. That's fair, totally fair. He's been ramping up. Watched a good amount of him in Miami, and while he hasn't been that, he has been better. He can be a pesky on-ball defender. He can shoot better than he's showing in LA. More, he's been showing it more lately. 32% on the season, but recently, outside of that 1 for 6 performance he had the other night against Golden State, I remember because I was watching that from 3. He's been shooting it well. He has a 4 for 7 here recently. He has a 2 for 5, a 3 for 5 not that long ago, a 4 for 5 not that long ago, all from 3. Gabe is he's a good player, better than what he's shown. He's been banged up in LA, but he's kind of making it work a little bit more. All right, a couple more. Keep saying that, but I really like speaking to y'all, man. Y'all are smart. Y'all are a smart group for sure. 21 Alex, could the Lakers get Clint Capella? Hawks went with Okongwu. Yeah, I've been kind of waiting for the Hawks to trade Clint Capella for a while because Clint Capella is clearly standing in front of Onyeka Okongwu, who I think I don't know if he's going to be starting center long term. He is kind of small for a center, but I think he's really good. I think he's a good basketball player at the very least, and I think he's just starting starting worthy basketball player. He is six. You don't feel like he's 6'10". He's 6'10" for real? No, he's 6'8". Okay, that's what I thought. 6'8", 235. So he's a modern NBA center. Back in my day, no. We have Clint Capella being 22 million rather. My bad. 22 million this year expiring. Could the Lakers get him? I mean, again, you can get to that number with Gabe and Vanderbilt, but as Sean mentioned, I mean, not that Gabe is untouchable, but do you want a year of Clint Capella? Wouldn't you rather, like, I mean, could you do a Jared Vanderbilt? And do the Lakers have any seconds left? Seconds are going to be key in something because you can just toss a team some seconds. I wonder that. But could you do like Jared Vanderbilt and just some seconds for Jonas Valanciunas? Just go all offense. Jonas Valanciunas could like just walk into 12 and 10 in 18 minutes. Problem is defense, but you know. March is Slovenia night, okay. 21 Alex, did OG go down tonight? Yes, actually. Last I saw, there may be an MRI, but he left with a sprained foot, it appears. No, Giannubi's got an injury history. Okay. Let's see if we can get a funny comment on the way out or something. Sean, also LeBron hasn't got traded as NBA career before. Yeah, I know. I mean, those guys, that doesn't happen often. I mean, unless they really, really ask. And as far as we know, LeBron's never asked for a trade. And if I were him, I wouldn't do it now. I'm sure he loves living in LA too. Why would you? Clint Capella might end it here. Willie says Clint Capella's on the trade, been on the trade block almost as long as Miles Turner. All right. Wanted to do 25, 30 minutes. We did an hour. Thank y'all for watching, sincerely. The channel's growing. We have a lot planned this week, as I outlined. I still have to record. I'm probably going to do this in the morning now. Still have to record my recap of the David Benavidez, David Morrell fight. We'll see if I do that in the morning or if I'm definitely not going to put it up until tomorrow, even if I do it tonight. And then all the streams, I'll reiterate one more time. We're planning on doing WNBA early Tuesday with Maria Marino. There's a lot of WNBA shit happening. That's so cool. And the real shakeups. Wednesday night, NBA free agency preview. Greg Sylvander should be there. Gerard Hector should be there. Gerard Hector from True Hoop, Greg Sylvander from 5 on the Floor podcast, 5 Reasons Sports. And we'll see if I can get somebody else. But it'll be at least us, and we'll be just breaking down everything that could happen. And then Thursday recap, trade deadline. Ethan Skolnick said he will do it if he could. And we're looking to get him to react to the trade deadline with we'll talk about all the NBA, but obviously Jimmy Butler could be a big piece of that. And look, if Jimmy Butler gets traded before that happens, then I'm probably going to do something like this. Although hopefully I'll have somebody with me, somebody from Heat World, because I have obviously a few connections there. And we could talk about this. So if Jimmy Butler gets traded, expect some sort of impromptu stream. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Continue to support the channel. Donate to the channel if you like. And yeah, have a good night. Thank you for watching.